Hello, and welcome back once again to Infinite Jeff, the project wherein I, Jeffrey, read the book Infinite Jest to you, but I don't read it with any sort of expediency or with any sort of efficiency or with any sort of being able to remember something that happened previous in the book. I read it one page at a time, which means sometimes I go months between plot lines, being revisited. So it's a very interesting way to read a book. So I read it one page at a time. And I put it on YouTube. And sometimes I'll put a little video in there. And on one page, page number 280, I actually filmed a reenact. Well, I adapted it for the screen, the silver screen, as it were. It took a day, and I did it in my room for no money. So, it looks like shit, but it was fun to do. And, neat. But I'd like to do that again, too, because that was fun. But mainly, I just read it, put it in a little video, a thumbnail on it. Went really simplistic this go-round. Every 100 pages, I switch it up. New thumbnail, and I felt like minimalism. So, but anyway, today is page number 340 of Infinite. It's January 23rd, 2021. It's 5:16 p.m. I had to open at work today, which means I had to be there at 5:30 in the morning, which means I was done at 2, which is nice. I'll tell you what I did after work. After I read this page 340. Here we go. Combatant staffs have begun to swell that Evan Ingersoll's become fair game for cruelty. The way kids can seem to smell this sort of thing out with such uncanny acuity. And Red Shy's general secretary and the AMNAT vector planning specialist and Josh Gopnik all start moving northeast over the map, firing balls as hard as they can at Ingersoll, who's dropped his launcher and is shaking frantically at the chained gate over the fence's north side, where Mrs. Incandenza has decided she doesn't want kids exiting the east courts and trampling her calliopesis. And these little kids can hit balls exceptionally hard. Hal is now unable to gather enough spit to spit. One warhead hits Ingersoll in the neck, and another solidly in the meat of the thigh. Ingersoll begins to limp around in small circles, holding his neck, crying that in that slow-motion, shuddery way little kids have when they're crying more at the fact of being hurt than at the hurt itself. Pemulus is walking backwards away from the south fence, back towards the pavilion. Excuse me. Been a long day. Been a long, dry day where I've been outside all day. So that's why my voice is kind of meow. Pemulus is walking backward away from the south fence, back towards the pavilion, and has both arms up in either appeal or fury or something else. Axford tells Hal and Troelst he wishes he didn't feel the dark thrill he felt watching Ingersoll get pummeled. Some filmy red peanut skin has gotten into Jim Struck's hair as he lies there motionless. O.P. Lord attempts to rule that Ingersoll is no longer on the four courts of Eschaton's Earth map, and so isn't even theoretically a valid target area. It doesn't matter. Several kids close in on Ingersoll, triangulating their bombardment. T. Peterson on point. Ingersoll is hit several times, once right near the eye. Jim Troelst is up and running to the fence, wanting to stop the thing, but Pemulus catches him by his headset's cord and tells him to let them all lie in their own bed. Hal, now leaning forward, steeple-fingered, finds himself just about paralyzed with absorption. Trevor Axford, first to his chin, asks Hal if he's ever just simply fucking hated somebody without having any idea why. Hal finds himself riveted at something about the degenerating game that seems so terribly abstract and fraught with implications and consequences that even thinking about how to articulate it seems so complexly stressful that being almost incapacitated with absorption is almost the only way out of the complex stress. Now, Indipak's Penn and Amnat's McKenna, who have long-standing personal bones to pick with Ann Kittenplan, peel off and gather ordnance and execute a pincer movement on Ann Kittenplan. She is hit twice from behind at close range. Ingersoll has long since gone down and is still getting hit. Lord is ruling at the top of his lungs that there's no way Amnat can launch against itself when he gets tagged right on the breastbone by an errant warhead. Clutching his chest with one hand, with the other he flicks the Red Beanie's propeller, never before flicked, whose flicked spin heralds a worst-case and utterly decontrolled Armageddon-type situation. Timmy Peterson takes a ball in the groin and goes down like a sack of refined flour. Everybody's scooping up spent warheads and totally unrealistically refiring them. The fences shudder and sing as balls rain against them. Ingersoll now. All right. That was page number 340 of Infinite Jest. So yeah, I got out of work at 2. And then I headed, I made a stop and then another stop. And then I went to the record store because, there's a band that I like called Preoccupations. They're Canadian. I think they're from Alberta, I want to say. Like Edmonton or something. And so I've seen them a couple times live. Like I'd seen them live opening for another band I really like called Protomartyr. And I just didn't kind of pay much attention to them. Then one time we saw them, me and my friend Griffin saw them at a local place. And I don't know, man, it just clicked. Like it was just like, whoa, these guys are great. So, kind of been into them. So, anyway, like half of that band, half to 3/4, at least half of that band used to be in another band called Women, who put out a couple albums in the mid, 2000s. And I guess 2011 for one of these, because it's the 10th anniversary reissue of one of their albums called Public Strain, which I haven't listened to yet. But, half of that band became half of this other band, Preoccupations, that I like. So, and this band, this is often heralded as a really good record. So I picked that up. I also got Talking Heads, Speaking in Tongues, which is the album with Burning Down the House on it, amongst other songs, obviously. So I have the first 4 Talking Heads albums, but I didn't have the last 4. So this is one of those. And it's the first in like 3, 4 albums, I want to say, without Brian Eno as producer. So it seems to have gone in a bit different of a direction. I mean, I haven't really listened to the album, but I've listened to the Stop Making Sense CD release, which is, of course, their famous live concert. Well, it was a film by Jonathan Demme. Really good concert film. But they were touring for this album, Speaking in Tongues, when they filmed this. That CD, which I've listened to a lot, consequently has a lot of material from this album on it. So I'm more familiar with the live renditions at this point than the studio renditions. So I'm excited to listen to it. I guess it was just recently re-released on blue vinyl. Cool. Whatever. And then, they had, it's a Modest Mouse EP called Interstate 8, which I, didn't have, and And the thing is, it's great because it was marked $11.99, but he only charged me $6.60 for it when I checked the receipt. So I appreciate that. A little discount for frequenting that place, my local record store. Yeah. So then I came home. Yeah. Took a shower. I like to get home and take a shower. Wash the work off me. Ugh. Then kind of slide into my evening. When this is one component of that. Yeah. Oh, I just got self-conscious. I thought about what I'm doing. Yeah, so, Modest Mouse. They're a band that I enjoy. I also recently got the Vinyl Me Please Records of the Month. Well, the Essentials was the first John Prine album, so that's cool. He's supposed to be pretty cool. And then the hip-hop add-on was Killer Mike. It's called R.A.P. Music. And it was the 2012 album that was produced by LP, which, if you know your music, which I know my listeners do, obviously, duh, that Killer Mike and LP would go on to become Run the Jewels and find, arguably the most commercial success of their careers, even though they had long careers before Run the Jewels. I was familiar with both these guys, probably at least 20 years now. But really never listened to Run the Jewels. That's the crazy thing. Like, I was aware of LP, and I think I'd listened to Fantastic Damage back in the day or something. Wasn't a regular rotation. And then Killer Mike I knew from, he was on he was on Stankonia. Like, he used to kick it with Outkast, and I guess he and Big Boy had a falling out at some point. But so I knew him and respect, but then I never really listened to Run the Jewels and still really haven't listened to the first three releases, but I checked out the Run the Jewels 4, which came out last year. Yeah, it was like, oh shit, this is fantastic. So I should probably really go back and listen to the first, the first three Run the Jewels albums. And then one of them, they, I guess it's called Meow the Jewels, and they edit in a lot of cat noises, cat sounds, meows and whatnot into the music. So that's cool. I like cats. That's adorable. It's fucking adorable. So I'm looking forward to listening to that at some point. It's on this cool. It's clear with black and green splatters. Colored record, which is neat. Give me something I haven't seen before. So, and, Vinyl Me Please. They always do a good package, good presentation. Although with the hip hop ones, they've been putting in a stencil. I guess the idea is that you're going to use that to go, tag shit, graffiti tag this logo of the band or whatever. And I'm like, okay. That's neat. I guess it adds to the value of the thing, because I have a couple that's excuse me. The album itself is fine, it's whatever, but I can sell it, and that kind of shit adds to the value of it, for sure. No, I thought I had more to say, but I guess I don't. So, have a great night.